Good morning. My name is Kate Warnock, and I'm the social media manager for GuideWell. For the next 2 days, we will be bringing you live interviews from MediFuture, a prestigious event where we talk not just about the present state of healthcare, but what will healthcare and the healthcare market look like in 10 years. To help us know more about MediFuture, I have with us Terry Stone, the managing partner of Global Health and Life Sciences for Oliver Wyman. Terry, welcome to the GuideWell Insights Lounge.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what MediFuture is and why we're here today?
Absolutely. So MediFuture is a conference that we conceived of with the Tampa Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, whose purpose is to really help drive change and innovation in healthcare. As we're all quite familiar, there are plenty of challenges and problems in healthcare. And when we founded the Oliver Wyman Health Innovation Center, our goal was really to help be a catalyst to drive change. And one of the things that we thought would be most important was helping to improve the rate of diffusion of innovation. So there are lots of great innovations that are out there and available today, but it takes so long for them to trickle down and become mainstream that part of what we felt would be really valuable as a player in the industry was how do you help accelerate that and bring folks together from all walks of life within healthcare and make that innovation come to life and help others take advantage of it.
So along with this innovation that you talked to, there's certainly challenges in the healthcare industry as we know it. What are some of those challenges that you think the MediFuture attendees will be addressing here?
Sure, that's a really good question. There are so many challenges in healthcare, but some of the much bigger systemic ones that I think a lot of the folks at MediFuture try and address are things related to concepts like connectivity and information. One of the huge problems in healthcare, we talk about the healthcare system is broken, but quite frankly, one of the challenges in healthcare in the US is there isn't a system. There are about hundreds or thousands of disparate parts and pieces all sort of loosely stitched together. And so we talk about waste and inefficiency. We talk about people not making smart decisions. And too often that's not because people choose not to, but it's really because the information that's needed isn't available at the right place and at the right time. A doctor wouldn't order a redundant test if the information popped up on their screen and they were able to see it at the time they were conducting your visit. Just like as a consumer, I would make more informed choices if I had better information. I mean, we often say that as a consumer, people have more information and spend more time picking out their dishwasher than they do picking out their doctor, simply because we don't have any better resources than calling up your friend and saying, well, do you know anyone who needed to get their hip replaced or their knee replaced? I'm looking for someone for my mom. So connectivity and information is a big part. And another big thing, another big problem that a lot of the innovators try and address is actually access and convenience. I think we're all quite familiar with some of the challenges in healthcare, which include the fact that you go to get a doctor's appointment and sometimes you're waiting 6-8 weeks. And it's not because there aren't doctors available somewhere, it's because they're not available right there in your location. And with today's technology that you can open up Google Maps anywhere in the world and figure out where you are, why can't we make it easier to access doctors and capacity and clinicians that are in other parts of the country or other parts of the world that would help alleviate some of those challenges. And convenience is another problem. I mean, I think not only is it hard to get an appointment, but the appointments are offered, between 9 and 5 while many people are at work. And so I think there's a lot of those aspects of taking healthcare from the dark ages to what consumers expect in real retail businesses that we will see many of these innovators addressing.
So Terry, if those are the challenges in the healthcare industry, can you tell us what are some of the trends that you're seeing to come into play in the next 12 to 18 months?
Sure. There have been, we often talk about 3 big trends in healthcare. The first is this shift to value. So lots of people have heard about ACOs and paying physicians for value and trying to use that as a vehicle for ensuring that healthcare delivery systems pay more attention and are able to deliver better quality outcomes for a better price. We also talk about the rise of consumerism and the retailization of healthcare, which would be how do we go from, as I said, the dark ages to the fact that we as consumers are actually more informed and therefore we make more rational choices about our healthcare. And then lastly, we talk about science and innovation. And I think what we've seen in the last 3 to 5 years has been that first wave, that one about value. It's the one everybody's talking about. You can't go into a health system or talk to a payer who doesn't talk about value-based contracts. ACOs are all over the place in the health media news. And that trend's been playing out for a while. And a lot of people, I think, have been betting on how fast will that move to shift the industry. I think at Oliver Wyman, what we're seeing is that second wave, the one about the rise of consumerism, may be the one that actually crashes over the first and really starts to accelerate the change. And part of what we're seeing there is that we have a couple things in play. One, the public exchanges, and two, the private exchanges, these exchanges that employers put up, where they start to shift from just simply saying, we're the employer, we picked for you the HMO and the PPO, which one do you want? Employers will now shift to saying, well, I have this private exchange and I'll give you X thousands of dollars. You pick from this list of 12 or 13 different things, and you choose what's right for you. Because what we've found is what's right for an aging baby boomer empty nester isn't the same thing as what's right for a young single person or a person with a new young family. And so as we start to make more choice available to the consumer, they will start to naturally pay more attention. They will be more informed buyers. And what we will have is that will start to trigger a whole bunch of things that will drive the shift to value even faster. So what we have found is that when consumers are in high deductible plans, or when consumers have more choice and understand the trade-offs, they ask a lot more questions. They ask their doctor, well, before I get that MRI, do I have any other options? Or if I go there, is it better than if I do it here? And so we think that that trend is really what's going to take off in the next 12 to 18 months.
You know, so we mentioned MediFuture is talking about what is the future of healthcare 10 years from now, but how do we prepare for it today? We have to help answer those questions the leading innovators from the healthcare field. What is it that brings them together? Because they come from various parts of the economy, various backgrounds. You know, some are traditional payers, some are you know, incubators, others are funders. What is it that brings them here, and what can we expect to see?
That is also a good question. I think there are two things that largely bring the folks together. One's a pretty functional thing, which is, we said earlier, the healthcare system isn't a system. It's a bunch of disparate parts and pieces. The challenges that we're talking about are so big and so systemic, no one party can often fix them. And so one of the things that brings people together is that collaboration and convergence is necessary to actually sustainably address many of the problems we talk about. And so you can build a business model, but to really succeed at having impact, you're going to need to figure out how to partner and how you fit into the bigger ecosystem. So coming to events like this and getting exposure of your concepts and ideas and meeting others often creates lots of opportunities that otherwise, you know, are the difference between your business model being good and being great. And then the other one that I think sometimes we forget in healthcare is that many of these folks, for them, not only is it a business, but many are driven by a personal passion. A lot of people who get into founding their own healthcare business, or even people who work in the healthcare sector, they do it out of a passion for helping others and having impact. Many have been personally touched by something that's either happened to them or someone in their family, and that has driven them to really try and solve a problem that they felt that no one was there to help them with. And I think that actually, you'll find that as a common thread that drives many of the people who are at this event.
So it sounds to me the common thread to all of this is we're putting the humanity back into healthcare. We have the leading thought leaders of, you know, of this field to come here and really address that. How do we do that the right way? So can't thank you enough for your time. I'm so excited to bring more interviews over the next 2 days of people coming here to MediFuture. Terry, thank you, and welcome again to the GuideWell Insights Lounge. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting our event.
Appreciate it.